I'm David Cherry. I'm a clinical forensic psychologist, and over the last 10 or 12 years, I've been running training for Melbourne Water staff on how to keep themselves safe when they're working around the public or with the public. And unfortunately, it is the case that in the modern world, almost anything can happen at almost any time, and whoever we are and wherever we are, we need to be, firstly, recognise the dangerous situation or potentially dangerous situation and leave it if we can.
It's not part of your job. It's not something that you have to accept, and that abuse and intimidating behaviour, it doesn't get away from difficult conversations and differences in points of view at times, but it still should be something that you can expect to be done professionally and courteously.
Workers need to have a near black and white rule about what they will accept and what they won't accept. And as soon as you ask yourself, should I accept this? Should I remain in this situation? Nearly always the answer is no.
I think there are two situations that people will generally find themselves exposed to these sorts of scenarios. One is in the planned type of engagement, so where we've got a planned meeting or a planned engagement with individuals or groups, and we could do some work beforehand to ensure that perhaps we're meeting on neutral ground and neutral territory, where we might bring another Melbourne Water person along as a bit of a support or an independent observer to that engagement. We can use some of our customer relationship tools to identify the sorts of topics that those customers or individuals may be potentially going to bring up, and so that we're prepared for them ahead of time. The other interactions tend to be the ones that are ones in more perhaps field-based, or somebody bails us up in the street because we're wearing a Melbourne Water uniform, and they're the harder ones to try and plan for and deal with.
We all can recognise an unproductive conversation generally quite easily when you're just going over old ground. So I encourage people to think about saying something that's respectful and at the same time quite firm. That's as much information as I can give you today. If things change, get back to me. And if it's safe to do so, you might give the person a card. And you might end by saying, understand this is very concerning for you. If it's true, you might say, in order to clarify things and get back to you as quickly as possible, I'm going to go now to do this. However, if you feel your safety is at risk, don't tell yourself you must remain there in order to show respect for the other person. You just flee if you need to.
We need a technology that can help our people to ask for help as quickly as possible, especially when they are by themselves, if they're in more remote areas as well. So going forward, we will be coming up with a technological solution that we can roll out to the entire business that suits their role and the risks that they face.
The reporting that we need to do is really important, and I think some people think we only need to report the serious events or where somebody might be actually injured.
So near misses is, I got yelled by somebody. Yes, it affected me, but it's not. I was not hurt, but we are not thinking about the psychological impact that might have had on you. We are not thinking about the next time you go out, that would be in the back of your mind. So you yourself are feeling it, but nobody else gets to know about it unless you report it.
The employee assistance programs are really important to tap into from a Melbourne Water perspective. And the mental impact of some of these incidents can be quite draining, and even some of the build-up of small incidents over time. And so the ability to be able to just offload some of that a little bit, talk through the scenario and the issue with somebody that is particularly independent of Melbourne Water, if we're talking external counsellors. Sometimes it's just reinforcing your thinking that no, this is not acceptable and not okay, and that behaviour wasn't something that you should have to put up with, and that you did the right things.